Good morning, middle school students, and welcome to another Music Wednesday. So we have some things going on today that's of course a little bit of review, but we're going to do something new as well, okay? So hope you're all doing fine, and let's get to our objectives, all right? So first thing that's on the objectives, number one, I can read 16th, 8th, quarter, half, and whole notes along with their respective rests. Nothing new there. We've been covering that in our Rhythm Dojo just to make sure we keep that music reading fresh and on our minds. Number two, I can find instruments through household objects. Yes, I expect you to find some household objects to use as instruments again. Just be creative. Maybe you can find something that you didn't use last time. Number three, I can compose music using household objects. All right, so these are our goals for the day. Now, let's go on. I actually thought it would be a great idea to include another artist from a different country. We're going to do a warm-up like we have before, where we just make sure we're getting a little bit of all the different cultures out there and experiencing different music. Well, today we have Sergei Lazarev, and he is from Russia. So he is born in Moscow, Russia, and he's 37 years old today. He just turned 37 a few days ago, actually, April the 1st. Let's see, he's a Russian singer, dancer, and actor, and let's just look at some of his acting skills. So in 2000, he entered theater school, and in 2004 graduated as a professional actor, and he's won, actually, a number of awards for his acting skills. He played Romeo in Romeo and Juliet. He also has some comedy skills. He played in the Broadway musical comedy Lend Me a Tenor. But in regards to his singing career, he started out in this group called Smash in the year 2000. And after about 6 years, they broke up and he started doing his own solo career. Seems to be a trend, right? People start in a group and then they just go somewhere else on their own. But hey, it works. So anyways, he's been rather successful in his solo career, and he currently is a father of 2 kids. He's got a son named Nikita and a daughter named Anya. And our song for the day is called It's All Her. That's right, yep, It's All Her. And we're going to be playing these rhythms with our household objects. We'll also improvise too, of course, but let's look at this. Now, if you're in the 6th or 7th grade, I think you've seen this rhythm already. If you're in the 8th grade, I don't think you have, okay? But this is a combination of 2 things that we already know. 8th notes and 16th notes. Now, of course, we know 8th notes we count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the 16th notes are 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Well, if we start with an 8th note, we're still going to count that 1, right? Okay? And then the 2 16ths that come after that, think of it like they're the last 2 16th notes in a grouping. You know, you got 1E and a. What are the last 2 16ths in that group? And okay, so you would count this 1 and The E is part of that 8th note. 1 and okay? So if you have a series of this grouping right here, the 8th and the 2 16ths, it would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and clap and count that with me. Here we go. 2, ready, and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, let's try a little bit faster. 1, 2, ready, and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Should have the hang of it by now. Now let's see, the rest of this rhythm is stuff you already know very well. I just have 2 and 3 and 4. So let's see if you can read this whole rhythm that's on the second line, okay? 2, slowly go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. A little bit faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now that's close to the tempo we're going to be taking for the song we're doing today. Let's do the whole rhythm and then we'll listen to a little bit of that song to see what it sounds like, okay? So, first line through the second and then repeat back to the beginning, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and go. those household objects you got as instruments. That's fine if you've been doing that. No problems there. Now, let's have a listen to this song right quick. It is a cutesy song. It's pretty much the story. If you want to watch the video later, it's a funny video where it's this guy who is rather nerdy and just a little different, but he's attracted to this girl, and she's seemingly out of his league, and so it's a song about him trying to, I guess, get into a relationship with her. But it's a funny, cute song. Let's have a listen. It's in Russian. So you see the nerd that he is. Now he's trying to put on a suit. Transformation. And the chorus that you can't forget. Na 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 na. That's pretty much how it goes. All right, there's a song for you. So if you want to look it up later, again, it's called "It's All Her" by Sergei Lazarev. Okay. So now you have those instruments ready. Let's read that rhythm, and I'll throw in some times of improvisation as well, and then we'll swap instruments too. Okay, so hopefully you got at least three would be great different instruments to play right now. Okay, here we go from the top. Ready? 2, 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Swap! 1, 2, ready, go! Swap again! 1, 2, ready, go! Improvise! Go! Go to another instrument. 1, 2, rhythm. Go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Swap again. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Swap. Ready, go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Swap again. Improvise. and 4. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4. Swap. And ready, go. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4. Last time, everybody! Alright, so that's some Sergei Lazarev for you, all the way from Russia. Okay, so let's move on to our next thing. We're just going to recap on the rhythms that we should already know, doing our Rhythm Dojo, and you can just continue using your instruments for just whatever instruments you've gathered for today, okay? So let's go ahead and get started from the top with our whole notes, of course. Whole notes. Ready?
Everybody was
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, make sure you're counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, half notes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter notes. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 8 notes. Go. 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4. 16 notes. Ready, go. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a next page. Ready, top line. Here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, next line. 1, 2, half rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, next line. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and repeat third line. 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and get ready. On to the last line. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3, 4. That's all she wrote. Very, very nice. Okay, don't know who that guy is. Moving on. Alright, so our next part is going to be our composition portion of today's lesson. So, the goal is I can compose music using household objects. So if you're going to compose something, first of all, does that mean you're taking an idea that already exists and tweaking it? Or does that mean you're doing something completely new on your own? Why, yes, it is doing something completely new on your own. I feel like I am Dora the Explorer asking these questions and I can't hear what you're saying. So yes, let's see what this activity is about. So we're going to be using a beat or some sort of backing track and compose music using household objects over that beat or backing track, okay? And there doesn't have to be any set length to your piece. Of course, you can write it as long as you want to. So first thing, number one, we got to choose a beat or backing track, and I'll give you an example of what that is here in just a moment. Number two, write your piece. So when you write your piece, here's my tip. I don't expect you to write out all the rhythms that you want to do because we haven't really practiced a whole lot on notating rhythms. So you can just write it on a piece of paper however you can so that you remember it. Like say here I want my drum solo and it's going to sound like beep beep boop bop ba deep boop ba. I don't know how you want to write it. It's just however it makes sense to you, that's how you need to write it, okay? So that's my tip. No need to write rhythms, just write it however you can remember it. And finally, number three, not finally, once you're done, try and give your piece a name because that's when you definitely claim ownership of whatever you have written. It's like your stamp on the piece. This is mine, it's called so-and-so, okay? Number four, if you can, record this piece so that you can share it with friends and family. You can even perform it for them. You can perform it for them if you want to. Because, you know, ultimately, one of our big goals for this year was to perform music. But seeing how things have turned out, we might not be able to, okay? So a great way you can practice on your performing skills is by performing for family or friends. You can record it, post it, or just perform in the living room, however you want to do it, okay? So let's see. I'm just going to give an example here. Let's go to the backing track first. I like jazz music, so I chose a funky kind of piece, okay? So here's what my backing track sounds like. And it's just called Jazz Funk Backing Track. Easy, right? See, it's just instrumental filler. You write whatever you want to, put it over that. Whatever backing track you want. Okay, so I'm going to share something that I've come up with. Just to give you an example. Again, there's no set length. You can write it as long as you want to, but try to record it if you can and perform it for your family. That's what we're trying to do here, okay? So let's see what Mr. Crenshaw has. So I know that's kind of complicated, but again, you can come up with whatever you want to. It is your composition, okay? So again, the goal is to choose a beat. You got to choose a beat or a backing track, and then write your piece however long you want it to be. And once you're done, give your piece a name. I'm just going to call this one Funkadelic, okay? Funkadelic. So see, my piece has a name. And number 4, if you can, record it and then perform it for your friends and family, okay? That's our goal here. So anyways, let's see what we have for just a little brief recap on today's lesson. So number 1, how many beats does a half note get? Dos latidos, 2 beats. How many beats does a quarter rest get? Uno solamente, only 1. And then a 16th note. 1/4 of a beat. It's the shortest rhythm that we have learned so far in class. And then a half rest gets 2 beats. All right, number 2. How do you count the grouping of 1/8 note followed by 2 16th notes? And we did this in at the beginning of class with our Sergei warm-up. You count it 1 and a. So if you have a series of those, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. All right. And number 3 is a composition based on. Let me try that again. Is a composition based on remixing something that already exists, or is it writing something completely new? Yes, it is writing something completely new. That's what we were doing just a moment ago, okay? Composing music. All right, folks, so I hope that you had fun in today's lesson. And as usual, I hope that you're doing well also. So please take care of yourself during this time. Make sure everything's cool. All right, so anyway, until next Music Wednesday, I will see you all next time, okay? Have a good day. Bye-bye.